You are live. Hi, we're going to wait for people to get here, but guess who we are?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Make sure you can't see the purple underneath.
We are back again with another Hallowstream.
It is almost Halloween. We're days away.
How is everyone doing?
Oh, of course. Yeah, let's bring up our other socials.
Which one are you doing? Facebook?
Yeah, I'll look at Facebook
I'll
if you want to look
do
at the other
YouTube.
one.
All right.
It's going to be a second, clearly. And just we're going to put our socials on.
Hello.
Wait for people to show up, and then we'll start talking. All right, here it is. Here we go. All right, so it's almost Halloween. We are dressed in a particular couple of characters. This is the actual look. Maybe you can tell by this is the giveaway.
Who are we?
But who are we supposed to be in this dress that is like clearly too big for me? It's got like your hairnets on me.
It looks good.
It's a little bit big, but it's good. This is the dress. Think Sleepy Hollow. Katrina Von Tassel. 괶ᴜʀɪévᴇ. Now at home we have a dog that's 10 pounds, and I did buy her a pumpkin costume, so she's going to be our little headless pumpkin. And we'll take some better photos.
Yep.
But
in our graveyard in our front yard.
Yeah.
That we put in.
We put in a graveyard. We put in decorations. It's almost that wonderful time. We have not been live in.
It's been a minute.
A year and a half. No, last year.
Oh, no,
a year.
A year and a half.
It was last fall when we were like,
Certainly.
oh, by the way, yeah. So things have changed. So we're going to update everybody on that.
Yep.
We can talk a little about this cool spot, and it's kind of, I don't know, like a whole lot has happened in our existence since we last live streamed. And we didn't do a Hallowstream last year, did we?
We did.
We did?
I believe so.
I don't think we did.
We'll have to look back at that.
But because we were busy as all get out.
We might not have, because we were in the process of buying our home at that time, and that's all worked out, and
thank God.
Lots of renovations have happened since then, and we've just been very busy, but we're on our way back.
Yeah, so we wanted to do a Hallowstream. This time, instead of a full dark Hallowstream, it's Weird Adventures Hallowstream, because last time we did this, we were full dark.
Indeed.
And we have changed our name, and it's really easy to see that because it's Amy and Ryan's Weird Adventures, and that leaves no mystery. It's Amy, Ryan.
I'm Amy, this is Ryan.
How are you?
How are you?
But yeah, it's been 100 years since we've ever done this. We wanted to update people. I don't know, what do you got on there? Anything?
Nothing yet.
1 and 1? Okay, that's fine. Now let's just go through the usual questions. Ryan, what's the most scary haunted place you've ever been?
Oh, geez. Here right now with you.
Nah, no. He's not wrong.
No.
What's your scariest? And I know we've been asked this over and over.
I think everybody knows mine. That's the Conjuring house.
But do you still find it scary?
I don't want to go back, so I don't know if that says anything.
You really wouldn't go back at all?
I don't think so.
Jeez.
Maybe if I had like a whole gaggle of people with me, I would consider doing that. But
then you're just having a good time with friends. Like if you're not,
right.
That's
when they get you.
Yeah. No, it's really funny that we're going to tell the whole Conjuring story soon on a different podcast and platform, but
indeed,
it's happening. Oh, okay. Glad I caught you.
It's Kevin. How's it going, sir?
Ryan, you could use a shave. Well, he's from the 1700s right now.
It's about to be winter, so
winter's coming. He put on his extra hair. This is my extra hair. I really could have brushed this girl before I put her on my head. It's fine. It's totally fine. What's my scariest location? Can you guess?
Geez, I don't know. There's a few, I suppose.
Where have I been really scared, though? Like, West Virginia Penitentiary scared me because being alone in there.
Yeah.
And knowing it was just you and, like, the 2 security guards or tour guides who stay at the front of the building. That was like, ooh. And you can tell if I'm scared because I talk my way through the entire, like, walking through or a session, unless I'm, like, recording an EVP session. I just keep doing this to myself to keep the noise going. Or else, Amanda. Why, thank you. We are. Wait, let me get it right. There. Now I'm Katrina Von Tassel. I gotta get like that nice, the young doughy girl look, and I don't have that anymore. That's gone. well, it's Katrina von Tassel if she lived and she married you, and if I'm from Sleepy Hollow, you're from the 1700s. Like this is the Sleepy Hollow costume. But I found the necklace. I'm so stoked on that. I'm so stoked on that. So we're gonna haunt. We're gonna go get a horse from one of our neighbors and ride up and down the street and put you in a cloak. And I think we'll have a good Halloween.
Yeah.
Now I can see the
Kevin
screen.
would like to hear about the scariest part of the Conjuring house. Well,
it's what you saw, but the stupid thing here, let's reenact what happened at the Conjuring house. You were looking that way. Pretend we're sitting on a bed together in the center of a room. That's where we were. And there's a little slit window here and here across from us. And I had set the camera in the window looking at us because we're on camera. So you look that way, go look that way. And I was looking this way. And then he sees something and I'm like, what? And I'm late to the party.
It was too late by that point. It just flew across the doorway.
It's not fair.
Pretty darn fast. It wasn't faster than a human could, you know, it's just a doorway. But
you only get so much feet to see.
Yeah.
It happened, I suppose.
It wasn't seeing that, you know. I welcome that. I saw shadow figures at Waverly Hills and stuff, but it was the lead up to that. That was definitely the most terrifying part about it.
It's the story of how the night went.
All the stuff that happened before then, all the communication we were getting was extremely dark. And then that just seemed like a show of power. Like, get out, basically. It's the only time that's really happened to me personally. I don't know. I don't think I want to experience it again, but...
Would you go back in the day?
I might go back in the day, but... Now that I know a little bit more about why that happened, I think, you know, maybe that would change me going back.
The context of how that house has been used over the years since it was bought for the paranormal. Before it was bought for the paranormal, it was a private home. Hi, Chris, how's things? So it was somebody's house, and they very lovingly, like, probably helped restore it. I mean, it is an old 1700s, I'm pretty sure. And it's a wooden structure, so it has to be maintained or it goes goodbye in the New England, you know, in the in the New England weather. But when it was open for paranormal, when it was bought by the couple that it was owned by, how much do we even want to say? It's all public information. But that's when it was like, here's what you can experience, and the history of how that trajectory from several years ago when it was bought until now is really rich. It's a rich history with some good, some bad, some just strange and subjective, you know, subjectively people's beliefs. So maybe that's what I think.
The history is what the history is, but I honestly think that it had nothing to do with that. The egregore theory is, if you've watched the channel, you know, that's kind of the direction my mind has gone. I think a lot of things we experience are things that we're putting out there, or energy that was left behind by the living. And I was told exactly what I would see on the tour, and that's exactly what I saw.
So you think it was more your brain than the history of that house in the past decade?
I don't know if it was my brain, but I think it might have been his.
Yeah.
So
the owner.
Yeah. Something that's been worked on for a long time in there, but I can't be sure. Who knows with this stuff? That's the fun of it.
Right. There's no like, oh, this is what this is. There's no way to know. And we're definitely,
thank you.
It's got a good leather tricone happening. Tricorn hat.
I just need a carriage and I'm ready. I am ready.
Yeah, Amanda and I had a time in Lizzie Borden where we were investigating in the same place, same room you and I were, where Abby Borden was attacked. And it seems like the responses are almost not like what you want to get or what you would expect to get, but almost the way a haunting would seem to, or like the way a haunting would assume to manifest in that place. It's like gives you exactly what you think you'd be looking for. And I think that's happened to other people who've investigated there. That's been open
no doubt.
A while, right? When was that
open?
All the
people that go there expecting to see stuff and experience stuff, they're leaving behind that anticipation, that energy builds, it builds.
And there's so many details.
Things manifest.
That are known. There's photos from that one. Like, I don't know. That it starts to seem like that's the way a lot of these places get haunted. Yeah, it felt like this. Oh, good, you're going to find this ghost in this room, and I sat exactly where Alex was, and we had some of the same type of interaction. Like, oh, well, that's interesting. You heard the name Abigail through that. Yeah.
Yep. That was interesting.
That was
pretty cool.
That was cool. And again, does it mean that this conscious dead person was there? No. Like, I'm going to be like, I know this. There's people who'll be like, I know this, but I'm not one of those people that's like, well, this dead person talked to me. I can't believe that. Do you believe that?
I don't know. I don't know where I stand.
This dead person right here, right then,
I think
communicated
it's possible,
with you, right? The only thing I can lean on is
I don't feel like it's the most common by any means.
Same, dude. Same.
Based on all the places we've been and the things we've experienced, but I'm only going off what I've experienced personally. I respect everyone else's experiences and opinions.
Right, there's some wild ones. I love hearing the stories.
I'm really trying, as a whole, why we're doing this is to formulate my own feeling about it, my own opinion about it through what I've experienced.
And to keep changing your mind. I think that's the biggest thing that or at least that I've discovered in the paranormal, and I think we should talk about this more, is the not knowing and being able to be in a haunted place as big as like Waverly or OSR, Mansfield Reformatory, one of the big haunts, and saying something just happened to me, but I don't know what it was, and then leave it there.
This could very much be the theme of the channel going forward.
Should be.
Because
change your mind. I don't know.
In a sense, we feel that's really lacking in the community.
There's so much
people
rigidity,
think they have answers, and I just don't see how you could have answers. There's no scientific method. There's no way to prove this stuff out.
No, and answers. I mean, answers, or when somebody in the paranormal says, "Well, I know," everybody knows for themselves. Right. Because there's been times in my life where I've experienced something kind of weird or unexplainable in a known haunted location, let's say 10 years ago. And at that point, like 10, 12 years ago, I would have told you, I know it's this particular deceased person. And I would have stood by that. I would have fully believed that with my whole chest, and like, I believe that. And at this point now, 10, 12 years later, I can say I didn't lie, but I don't believe the same thing. And I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. I'm glad for that. I feel it's humbling. And I don't think there's a lot of that in the paranormal. Yeah. Nobody's like, well, I was wrong. Like, there's a lot of places where you can be like, shoot, I was wrong.
The only hill that I'm willing to die on with this stuff, and only statement I'm willing to make, is I know there's something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's a lot of people, there's no such thing. Oh, there is. I mean, if you look hard enough for long enough, you're going to find it. It might find you, but what is it? That's the part that's going to keep us going the rest of our lives.
Right. The light in the sidewalk. Hello.
It's not about the answers. It's about the adventure.
Who's the light in the sidewalk? Now I need to ask about the backstory of that.
The sidewalk. Oh,
maybe it's a new book.
It could be a new book. Oh, spoiler. No.
You heard it here first. No,
maybe.
I'm kidding.
Maybe.
I'm kidding. How's everybody tonight? It's almost Halloween. We were gonna do a live stream on Halloween, but on Halloween I might want to watch Casper.
Right.
Featuring the girl who was in this movie when she was younger, with Devon Sawa. I liked him. I still like him. So
yeah,
So anyway.
We just did a investigation 2 weeks ago.
Let's talk about that. Oh, there's
not
news.
Too much, because the video's coming real soon.
That's true.
It's going to be the quickest turnaround I think we've ever had.
Except for
on a major investigation.
There's 2 that I've been like, I did it.
Yep.
Here you go.
This is going to be a fun one. It's just the 2 of us in a big, huge building with 40+ rooms.
That's my favorite.
We got some really interesting stuff on our recorder. Like, really interesting. Some direct answers, which then takes your brain to, are these people?
Yeah, it's one of the
people.
I love it.
What are they? Tricksters? Right. Who knows?
Christina Ricci's been part of like literally all of our childhoods. If you're over the age of 32, 5, 30. I'll give it to the 30-year-olds and up. I don't know what people have watched. But if you were the right age for 괰ᴜ괜ఝᴜ to hit you in the fields, and JTT, don't know what happened to him. Last saw him on Smallville, gone, living his life, living the dream, miss him. You were the right age to be hit by Christina Ricci.
Didn't he pass away?
What? No.
I think he might have.
What? Jonathan Taylor Thomas is not.
I don't know.
I gotta get on
If
Google
anybody
now.
can confirm that. We can't confirm it right now.
Please. Oh my gosh. No. Okay. So our other news is that we did go on an investigation, and you should probably know, like, the reason we haven't gone and investigated is because we had our house worked on a lot, and it took months, and there's going to be dust like coming out of my nose forever from this process. But I have never been so in awe and grateful and happy and relieved. We had our heat and hot water changed over because we had to. Yeah. There was like an oil leak in the basement. Things were getting a little crazy. So to the end of
awesome. Oh, it's J&M
Hi. Oh, happy
hey guys.
But we've had a lot of stuff going on, and that really, it's weird to share your home with 5 guys and they're also using your bathroom, but they're also changing your house and they're doing things that you can't do.
Yep.
So it's really cool, and it's really strange, and it's really odd that they can just pull apart a room and then put stuff back in and be like, it's done. It's the way you wanted. And you're like, are you kidding? What? How did you?
It came out great.
It's so cool.
It was awesome.
We're very glad that that process is behind us, and we can.
Right.
I'm hearing other people. Are those ghosts?
They're not ghosts.
I think we've got some drunk people.
There's probably numerous Halloween parties happening in the area, I assume.
Oh, thank you, Chris. It's crazy that now I'm skim coating the walls around the rooms that were redone. So there's the rest of the house. But so we did go investigate recently at Greene County Historical Society and Museum. That's like the official name of who they are, but it's the Greene County Poor Farm is the building and building structure and campus that they're in Pennsylvania. And it's like behind a Walmart, behind a Lowe's, like through a road cut, and then all of a sudden the road opens up and you're at these historic buildings, and it's like, hello.
It was all farm fields when this place was built.
Yeah.
I believe it was built in 1861, so right around the beginning of the Civil War. It's had people there nonstop until when did they stop having people there? In the 1960s?
Yeah, or more. It wasn't empty for very long, they said, right?
No.
Because it was an old people's home, an old folks' home, like a nurse. It wasn't nursing.
It is cool. That's for sure. It is a amazing building. It's been added on to a bunch of times. Right. Yeah, it was a nursing home after it was a poor farm.
That's how it was, like the last remember. So there's people who are not much older than us who remember it being a nursing home and visiting as a kid, and it was completely fine. So it's not like the building is derelict. Everything is in great condition. And they've uncovered more of the rooms. Like they keep uncovering spaces, and they seem to be almost done because you can go through this whole building. Yep. But when we were there, that's right, we all love 괰ᴜ괜 and we like him on Twitter now. But when we were there, they had recently opened up part of the steward's apartment, and the stewards of the poor farm would have been the people in charge. So that family lived right there in the front rooms. And so what was their bathroom and maybe a closet, they uncovered, emptied out, and let people investigate. So that was super exciting.
It was cool. They said we were only like the 3rd people to be in there besides staff, which their staff consists of 4 people.
Right, their staff
what they've done with just minimal. 4 is remarkable. But the place boasts over 1,000 deaths, they tell us, which would put it number 1 as far as places we've been. That's
what about Waverly? They boast 10,000.
They boast 10,000 deaths.
Yeah, Waverly, they're like 10,000 people died. I mean, I don't know if that's part of the story, but that's also like the trajectory of tuberculosis in America for a century, like 3/4 of a century.
It's more than OSR. It's more than Moundsville.
Is it? Moundsville seems like it had people dying in it.
They had 990 confirmed deaths.
Yeah, that's it. The whole time Moundsville was a prison, and it was the most violent prison.
I mean, it was open a long time, and it's pretty hard to take someone out in prison. It really is. So
wouldn't it be easier because everybody's already in there?
Everybody's locked up.
Yeah, but what if they're in Shenanigans? I don't know.
I don't know how it works. I don't have firsthand experience.
I don't want any. The people who are in there,
it's a whole lot of people passed away on the premises.
Yeah, that's the point of that.
But it was awesome to be able to roam that place by ourselves, just the 2 of us. We love collabs, but we're kind of committed to doing more stuff, the two of us.
Yeah, it's fun when it's just us, you know.
It's creepier.
We're a little
period creepier.
And it's not out of like being a jerk, but it's me. It's my fault. I'm less distracted when there's just two of us and I don't have a place or a person to run my mouth and be like, so. So I'm less distracted.
There were no shots of just my chest down.
Well, there was one.
Time.
There was one.
There was,
there was
but
one.
I got down there like, hey.
I'm short enough that like the camera, as we're going through the night, the camera just slowly drops lower.
You got to look through the viewfinder once in a while.
But I'm also looking for ghosts actively. Like I'm looking into the distance of the hallways. Like what if something pops out and then I whip the camera?
As far as trying to get good camera shots, I would say this is probably going to be one of our best for sure.
When we can take it slow and set down the camera and not feel like we're holding anyone up that we're with, or like we're taking away from someone's time, it's a lot more relaxed. I'm just like, oh, let's try this shot.
We love those kind of shots where you're looking down a long hallway and you can see past us down it, because you never know what could pop out, you know.
And I'd look for that every time we go through the footage. My first thing is to like drag the bar across and bring up the contrast. So I'm looking at it nice and bright and being like, is there a head? Is there a head where there shouldn't be? Did something crawl along the ceiling? Like I'm trying. I am scouring.
Right.
And you'll notice footage like that doesn't exist on our
it's hard to capture
channel because it hasn't happened yet.
It's so hard to capture.
I haven't gotten a crawler.
The White Hill Mansion thing by my neck is
there's that.
The most notable piece of visual evidence.
I disagree. I think it's a Waverly because we all saw it.
We saw it
in the moment, and the camera only saw a little thing.
It didn't even come close to seeing what we saw.
I know, but the fact that we witnessed and it did an electronic thing, I don't know. That's the closest we're ever going to get to that.
Tossing a kid in bed. Well, don't hurt your back. You know, just toss him gently. Jeez. You don't have to, but you know.
This guy. Why don't you tell everybody what kind of reels you like to look at? You and Jody.
There's a great Instagram account called Kids Getting Hurt. And that's not seriously hurt.
No, it's not
like kids on
violent.
strikes wiping out.
Oh my
stuff.
God.
It's hilarious.
Why do they do this to people?
People think that I'm weird for that,
but a lot of people love those pages.
You try watching it.
Oh my God.
You will laugh.
It's hilarious. For anyone who's a parent, you need to look at this now and again and be like, yep.
I could bring some up and show the people, but I don't think that's why they're here.
It's not part of the terms of service.
No, that would be bad.
But no, Greene County Historical Society definitely has a very small staff there in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, which is near Pittsburgh. And what we can tell you is that they have put together one of the most gorgeous museums, and just a really well-appointed museum with beautiful antiques, some that were original to the Reinhardt family that originally built the property as a house. And when they couldn't keep the house financially, it turned into the county poor farm, and it was added on to, and so you get those big long wings of rooms. But these people have pulled together the most incredible bunch of artifacts and large pieces, all specific to Waynesburg, and they've had donations. But it's
local residents give them a lot of stuff they don't necessarily want at times. They mention,
perfect.
But the historical significance, what they put together is amazing. We got all of that in the videos. Some excellent B-roll shots for you all to see.
I think we have enough to be able to maybe even tell their story and put a video up that promotes going to this museum and just look what you can learn there.
They are excited and happy to have ghost hunting teams there.
Yeah.
That want to be respectful and you know, explore
it's a real
the place.
Gem. I like that.
They really, really want that.
So. I like places that, the more we do this and the more different places you go, there's places where you definitely know they're trying to just earn money. It's very business transaction. You kind of get a sense of maybe less care in the place and in the process of what's happening, and they just want the business to continue further. They want people to keep booking rather than talking about the story. Happy Halloween, Amanda. And it's kind of it's weird. It's like part of the vetting process of going to these places. So when there's certain locations like Greene County Poor Farm or White Hill Mansion, Prospect Place in Ohio, even OSR is a big organization and a very big venue. Those places that they speak to me the most because they have people who care a lot, and that's palpable. Like these people love this building and they want you to be happy in it. They love when you're excited to look at it. Like those type of people running haunted locations. I love that. I can't get enough of that. So those are the places like why do we like to go back to White Hill Mansion? One, I think it's haunted, and I'm not going to be like, I know, but I know for myself. I think I know it's haunted. How about that? I think I know it's haunted. And that's just for me. And I can't try to sell you that,
I'm with you.
Right? Like we experienced the same thing.
We had one of those rare experiences where multi people got to experience the same thing.
Chris, you do need to get to Prospect Place. It has the most gorgeous 4-foot-high corbels surrounding the outside of its Italianate style architecture.
That's your neck of the woods there, Chris.
Yeah, Ċenway, Ohio, northwest. It's by Mansfield. No, north central.
Yeah, it's a little
centrally.
Yeah.
Like up from Columbus. I'm not from Ohio, guys.
It's
I'm in Schenectady. Now we should
on the way to Indiana.
Yes, that's a long drive, but Indianapolis Raceway. Now, do you want to tell people about where we are?
We are in a place called the Stockade Inn in Schenectady, New York. It is a pretty old building, and it's in its own right, and it's in the Stockade district of Schenectady, which is one of the oldest cities in New York. There's been a lot of crazy stuff that happened here back in the colonial days and pre-colonial days with the Native Americans and the British and the Dutch and the French and
oh yeah, everybody.
There are literal bodies buried underneath the street from when the
massacre.
The massacre. Yep.
If we want to bring up a different tab in my computer, we can bring up all the history. But what I can tell you is that this is 1814.
But this building was started as the Mohawk Club.
Yeah. Let's see.
Because we're right on the Mohawk River.
I want to give you some history of this. Should we do this?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
The history of the Stockade Inn, if you will. The intersection of North Church Street and Union Street marks the original center of the Stockade Inn. In 1664, Jacques Cortelier, a French town planner hired by the Dutch governor, Peter Stuyvesant, laid the town out in grid pattern. I guess that's why we have grids now all over this country. The principal streets of the Stockade, Church and Union, were as wide as they are now, which means parking along the side is a real pain. But originally built near here, it has always occupied land on this street. Isn't that crazy? The current structure was built by the Old Mohawk Bank on the northwest corner in 1814. And in 1872, it was purchased by Union Classical Institute, and the Union Classical Institute operated here for the next 30 years. It was open as the Stockade Inn a while ago, because this is, it's been here longer than I have, obviously, but it was an inn for me in my lifetime as a kid, and then it closed and became, I don't know, I think it was just closed and sitting here empty, at least for part of it. And since the pandemic, they've reinvigorated it, and it is now a place you can stay overnight, and you can see this building.
So we found this place, we went on a ghost tour, a walking tour a couple of years ago here in Schenectady, and they stopped here, and they had some pretty wild tales about this place. Apparently there was a murder, and I'm not sure which room.
One floor down, right? We're on the third floor.
Was it on the second or third? I don't remember, but it's hard to know when you're outside the layout of the place, the size.
And it splits levels in here.
But there's a murder of a woman in there, and then there was other suicides and other unfortunate passings, which are all the recipes for hauntings. So it seems they had a lot of tales about sightings of things in the windows as people pass by. So as of right now, we've been the only thing in the window.
It's us.
Especially me.
Yeah, this guy in the window makes you go, what am I seeing? I just look like I'm overdressed for a ball. But I do like that they make the Katrina Van Tassel costume. Costume. What does this costume do? What is yours called? Victorian man or something?
I don't know.
It's like
this part has been repurposed from the Roxbury.
When we dressed up for Galileo's Gate.
Yes. We'll add it to the costume pile. Perhaps you'll see a colonial man ghost in our B-roll.
Yeah. I also have the sheet ghost with us because it was 2 years ago that we were at the Adelphi Hotel, also a beautiful historic hotel in Saratoga, and they were doing ghost tours outside. And so we stood in the window in our sheet ghost costumes, and we're like, hey.
And they saw us. They were laughing.
That was the
Some of
greatest
you
thing
might
ever.
remember that.
That was
We
the
told
greatest
tale.
thing. That was such a good thing to do. Who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't do that? If you had the
Exactly.
opportunity to stand in a historic building in a sheet,
Jen and Marcel would do that.
they would do that.
Totally.
We did that with them a year ago on Rose Island.
Yeah.
Just like,
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
take this sheet
They
and go
have-
off on my
yeah.
own. I'm just going to wear
They
this
know
sheet.
all about that.
It's fun. It's a good thing to do. So that's why we chose the Stockade Inn, though. 2 years ago, we were on a ghost tour, and this is one of the buildings. I mean, right across, there's a window right directly that way on that wall, and across from us is the old church that is said to be haunted too, and it has some of the most beautiful wrought iron gates around it. Love that look.
Yeah, it's an old
But-
church. That's what this whole section of the city was built around.
Church Street.
So, yeah, it's a very, very cool place to visit. If you're ever in Schenectady, this is the part to see.
Yeah.
There's so much history here.
And there's some little shops. So what is it? The oldest house in Schenectady is Sweet Sprig, which is a little shop with like handmade soaps, and they make things in-house, like an artisanal shop in
Yeah.
one of the oldest structures in Schenectady.
1600s. George
Love that.
Washington has had dinner in several houses on here. He passed through here a few times during the Revolutionary War when he was an enlisted man for
He had
the
to. There was
British
nowhere
and
else to
for the
stop.
Americans.
I'm kidding.
So he's been all through here. That history's here. There's historical signs. I love this part of town.
Big indigenous history. That's the massacre that occurred, which is why they're bodies buried under the street. It's intense. It's the formation of the colonization, which is a bad thing, of America. But we live here, and it's okay now. But it's not okay. But you know what I mean.
Well,
It was a rough time back then.
it is.
I don't want to live back then. You couldn't pay me to get
Back then, no.
in a time machine that takes me before like 1972. I don't want to go back in time. It doesn't seem great.
I may have to ditch the coat.
Are you hot?
I'm real hot.
Oh, he's breaking it down to the ruffles.
I am. It's ruffle time.
Ruffle shirt. It's my favorite. No, it is. It's definitely like hot under this wig. I do have real hair and it's on me and it's.
But you'll be okay.
I know,
promise.
but you look good in ruffles. I think we should bring back like the trouser look where like men's pants were like capris. You just covered the thighs and the knees and then you just let the socks hang out. Show them your shoes. Please show them those buckles.
Yeah.
He is from the 1700s. I am from the movie Sleepy Hollow, which I did watch earlier as well. Is anybody else watching all of the classic Halloween movies leading up to the holiday?
I watched The Lost Boys for the
You
first
did?
time in a while.
Oh, I thought you meant the first time ever. I was like, wow, you
Oh,
really
no.
waited.
I was tortured with that movie as a child.
Tortured by who?
1987 or so. So I guess that would have made me 8 years old. I was forced to watch that by my uncle who was like 16.
Oh, yeah, your uncle.
Yeah, he duct taped me to a chair and made me watch that movie.
That's
Which
messed
wasn't so bad
It's got
until
scary
they're like,
parts. Yeah.
now you know what we are. Now you know what you are.
There's scary points in that
part
movie.
was like, oh.
Right? It's Kiefer Sutherland as you've never seen him before, but as you want to see him again.
It was
It's a
awesome.
good look. Mine that scared me was Poltergeist, and I'm sure people have noticed on social media that I wear my Poltergeist shirt a lot, and I just like it. But that movie screwed me up, a whole trilogy. Do I have to tell the story again on social media? I will. Here we go. When I was 10 years old, there was a girl in my class. Her name rhymes with Leonka, and she invited the whole class to a sleepover. And at that sleepover, she showed like the whole trilogy of Poltergeist movies to a bunch of 10-year-olds. I was one of them. And me, being me, was terrified. And then, because I was also pretty unpopular, I was forced to sleep next to the stairs and the closet door. And it was just like a dark hole and a dark hole. And I was scared until at least the end of middle school, early high school by the Poltergeist trilogy. So now I wear the t-shirt because I overcame it. I should watch those.
And that's why you're here.
No, it's a lot of it. It's really screwed up because that's the first movie. It was the first movie in Poltergeist where they take out the cameras, and to me, as like a 7-8-year-old watching, it's just like your Lost Boys. I was like, wait, video cameras can see ghosts, and I fully believed everything that ghost investigation was doing in like 1989. I was convinced. So, ooh, was that?
Ooh,
Was
we
that?
have some major
That was the
wind
wind.
happening. Fall is happening. Wow.
Finally, it's been like 70 degrees. So.
Dude, I remember that party. Somebody was there and could corroborate your story.
You remember her birthday party because I was sitting next to you. I think I grabbed onto you when all the jump scares were happening. There was a beanbag. I had the weirdest, like sharp
This is a hotel. People
This
move
is true.
about.
I know, but the doors sound really creepy.
Oh boy.
But that party and those movies scared me to pieces. But I've always liked ghosts. And then my dad bought me the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark trilogy that were like banned forever. Both the author and the artist have passed away, and they passed away only shortly after those books came out. Alvin Schwartz and Stephen Gamble. And those books scared me into another dimension. My soul left my body. I'm still waiting for it to come back. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. You can buy... Oh, fascinated. You were fascinated. I was traumatized. I ended up with something that has lasted for my whole life and turned me into this. So I'm glad everybody liked Poltergeist. No, but I should watch Casper, and I should watch The Addams Family, all of them, and I should watch... What else is back in the day? Halloween, The Lost Boys.
Fright Night.
Fright Night. To watch Trick or Treat. Oh, Pet Cemetery.
Yep.
Those are... I never watched Nightmare on Elm Street. I never watched it.
Exorcist, yeah.
I've seen that one so
Seeing that
much.
at 8 years old was
That's not
probably
good.
traumatic.
Oh my God.
I didn't see that one until I was probably 13 or 14.
And I was the idiot who was traumatized by Poltergeist.
Well, the first one was scary.
No, it was the second one really too.
The second one
With the fire, all the heads
yeah,
that come out of the
yeah.
fire, I couldn't. The bottle, the tequila bottle, do we remember the worm in the tequila bottle ghost? It's in there forever. That'll be the last thing that flashes before my eyes on the day I die. It's that scene.
If anybody has any questions, we'd be happy to
we can
take them on.
if you want. There's obviously going to be a bunch of people who are part of the rewatch party. Drop some things in the comments. We reply to everything we can.
Yep.
True crime docs. That's a lot of things that I watch now too, because the world is weird and there's a lot to watch just in our own country of things people have done they shouldn't have done. But now we have Amityville Horror. I wear my Amityville Horror t-shirt all the time too. It's just the craziest story.
Mr. Boogedy.
Oh my God, do I remember that? I might remember that. What's the other Halloween cartoon that's really weird with like the pumpkin that's got its little flowing arms?
Oh geez, I just watched a video earlier about all these Halloween classics.
There's some messed up animation in our past. That's all I'm gonna say. Some of it's a little like, ooh, should we have put that on TV? I don't know. There's a lot of content, and there's only more now. I don't know. Like college age me would not have realized. Like college age me would have thought I'd be downloading songs on Kazaa and Napster for like the next 30 years. Like, this is my life now. Look at this. I was using this, not this then. I'm old. But a legend.
Yep.
Yeah, legend. That did scare me too. Darkness, when we saw Tim Curry, with the... That scared me as a very little... That was like, oh my God. If only I'd known it was Tim Curry, I'd have been like, oh, I love you. That guy.
That is a very creepy depiction of the devil.
That was,
Indeed.
right? What else would we have seen at that age in the 80s? Like, I don't know. I wasn't allowed to watch Last of the Mohicans in the 80s. My dad was like, no, don't look at the blood.
Well, I don't know if it was blood.
The eating the heart out of the guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I remember the scene.
True.
My dad was like, don't watch. And he's like holding his hands and like trying to look at, I don't know what I was trying to look at. I think I'm a little bit easily traumatized by the media though. I just finished, let's talk about what we're watching on streaming. I just finished the Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix. And let me tell you, that was really good. There's symbolism everywhere. Why, look, who's there? Justin. Hi, Justin. We just saw you overseas. And Mark. But so I watched the Fall of the House of Usher, and I feel like I'm late to the party. Like everybody knew about this for the last 2 weeks or something. And I was like, all right, click, let's do it. And it's obviously Mike Flanagan. So it's the same cast that we saw in House Haunted Hill and The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It was great to see you again, Justin. Just want to tell
Yeah, we're
you
really
that.
glad.
Yeah,
Alien.
it's very, very refreshing to see you're back doing what you do.
I'm very excited for this.
So
I'm glad.
we'll be there Monday.
Word. And so now, yeah, so House of the Follow Usher, which is super good. There's like all the deadly sins depicted in each character and figuring out which is which and all of that symbolism. This guy, Mike Flanagan, I hope he's a good guy. I don't know him, but he makes TV for a streaming service. I have no control over it,
Joe,
but he's really good.
Are you talking about where the alien comes bursting out of the chest during spaghetti dinner?
Wait, wasn't that Spaceball? Oh, that one. That's the real one. Spaceballs is the
Spaceball is the parody.
I know, but that still scared me because I was kind of young when it came out. I was still I was early middle school. I was scared of this stuff for like a long time. Like for me to be a ghost hunter, I used to sleep with so many nightlights. Are you kidding?
Aliens is the one that scared me the most. Alien wasn't too bad. It was a little creepy. The second one.
Is the second one the one where they have to swim under the water tunnel?
No.
Which one is that?
They come at night mostly. It's the Newt movie.
Oh.
That one's pretty terrifying.
Face hugger. No, but which is it the second?
They all have the face hugger.
No, but the where they swim and the one doesn't make it because she gets caught by the one guy doesn't make it.
Nobody's swimming in that one.
Somebody needs to have watched Alien and be like, hey, that scene where they're underwater.
That could be Alien 3.
It's one.
The one in the prison?
Yeah, I think it's Alien 3.
After Ripley crash lands with Newt, and Newt sadly dies. That's a bummer, too. They should have... They couldn't recast the same actress because Alien 3 was shot 6 years after Aliens because they take Ridley Scott, I believe. No, that wasn't a Ridley Scott. I think that was a James Cameron. I think he took it over.
I was going to say.
They couldn't recast Newt, unfortunately, so they killed her off before the movie even began.
Oh, see, I don't like movies where there's underwater swimming and people are trapped. So, like.
Alien Resurrection, yes.
That scene. Yep. Oh, I remember that. I remember, like, the first time I watched that as a child. Well, like,
Captain Dallas.
13-year-old. Yep. Thank you. Yes.
You're right. Captain Dallas. And from the first Alien.
Oh, that freaked me up. I hate that stuff. I watched The Descent recently because I was like, because there was a list and it was a list of like the scariest movies of 2023 or as of this year, what we think right now. And The Descent was the scariest movie this year. It's been out. We have a fight now.
Just boy, it's a dog fight.
Just hearing stuff. But so I was like, all right, let's watch the scariest movies. And I hadn't seen The Descent in years, and that movie holds up. And it's practical effects, like the monsters or the cave people. That's like, I don't know. I appreciate practical effects in movies like Alien, where you see that stuff and you don't, like everything now is CGI. And all I can think when watching heavily CGI movies is how are these actors even doing this? If somebody had me standing in front of a green screen trying to do this, I'd start laughing.
The Mist.
The final scene in The Mist is like the worst. Oh my God. No, that also messed me up because you don't really see it all the time, right? They're all in the grocery store or in the convenience store. And that's, I need to see the Thing.
You haven't seen The Thing?
Not in 100 years. Yeah, a long time. I think we have a lot of movies to watch on Halloween. So you all enjoy your Halloween activities. We'll be watching movies.
Yep.
Which is fine.
That's the kind of horror I like. I like sci-fi horror more than I like,
I like the mental horror. I like those.
Those are good too.
I like well, I also like period horror, like The Witch. That's my game. I love that movie.
Yep. Period horror.
Live deliciously.
That's a great movie too.
Do you feel bonita? Say
Let's not do that. I feel bonita. Okay. Is that what you need?
Yes, I'm happy now. No, I like historical horror, anything like that. Are there good Salem ones? What do we have? The Crucible, the Arthur Miller Crucible, which is not accurate at all. But wasn't there a new?
The Fog. Seen The Fog?
Remind me how it's different from The Mist. Have I?
That. Is The Fog the Stephen King one?
No, that's.
I get confused because they changed the name of the.
Oh.
I read the book. Well, the short story, I suppose.
Was that in Everything's Eventual?
The Fog.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh boy.
Have I seen that? I had to have seen that. It's right up my alley.
8 out of 10 on
It's from
IMDb.
1980.
That's good. Oh.
Wait, that's the new one, right?
Yep.
We did watch that, didn't we?
I think so.
Am I dumb?
We watch a lot of stuff.
But then I sometimes forget until somebody else brings it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's in my brain.
We'll watch that before we talk to you next.
Okay, wait a second. Give me a little homework. I'll get this done.
Okay. John Carpenter.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's been a minute because I thought there was another. There's some good horror. What else have I? Oh, the movie that I really liked that I watched like a week ago was The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke, whose kid was in Stranger Things. He was also a heartthrob when I was much younger. But anyway, organizing the garage. Well, that's good. We need to organize our garage too. We'll send some vibes to you. The construction people left us with pieces of cardboard that are as long as this room. Like, what crafts can I even do? But The Black Phone was really good. And maybe I'm a little wary or hesitant with some of the modern horror because I don't want to say like I expect it to be not good or I expect to not like it, but I think somewhere deep in me is like a really picky horror movie watcher. Like I really need to be like, oh, that was good. And I walked away from The Black Phone. Well, I sat back a little because I was sitting down. Like that was a really good story, and it wasn't like it was dark, but it wasn't overly gory. I don't do gory very well. Like I realized body horror. I almost walked out of the second Saw movie. I can't do it. I haven't, seen past halfway through Saw 3, and I think there's like 10 now. Oh my God, yeah, I'm not watching those. I like Devon Sawa, but Final Destination, so much gruesome death. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. And every time I get on an airplane, I think about it. So I think we all do. Well, then that lady recently got on the plane. Was that guy back there is not real? And I was like, great, here we go. All these people need to get off the plane. But the real story is a little more reality and not as interesting. But, right? Those movies, man, that stuff sticks with you. For me, it's the heads in the fire of Poltergeist. Hate that. Don't want to see it. I should watch those again, though.
You should.
But anyway, no, everybody should be watching the Countdown movies. But,
the Blair Witch Project was a reason that I got into the paranormal in the first place.
How did that one do with you?
That was the perfect timing for me.
Really?
It's because everyone thought it was real.
I didn't think
Everybody
it was
that
real.
was going to the theater, people that hadn't seen it yet, by the trailer are like, what the heck? Because they didn't show much in the trailer.
You know what?
They showed all this found footage, and that was such a foreign concept.
We didn't have these to go, oh, on Snopes, it's fake. No one would know.
So I figured it out when I was in the theater. It's probably not real, but I just enjoyed the entire concept of it. The way it was just a clever way to make a movie.
It is.
And creepy as all hell. And that's what made me and my friends want to run out there. Story of the Bell Witch. Yep.
I love that movie, American Haunting. I made my friend in grad school watch that. She was from a completely different country in Cyprus.
Thanks,
and I was
Kevin.
like, let's watch this. Thank you for coming, Kevin. Oh yeah, the hype was huge. I was in high school. I was 15.
It was a
14.
big deal.
I might have been like 14.
Being from a small town as I was.
Snaps.
Like, there's the word travels around. Oh, I think it's real. Yeah, you think it's real? Oh, cool. Let's go see it. And
oh, jeez.
Yeah, we found the first abandoned, haunted-looking house we could find after that.
I think a lot of people did.
And pretty much trespassed our way in there. We're probably, how old was I then?
If I were 14, you were like 20.
Maybe, around then. It was 96, I believe.
You're like 18 to 20.
Yeah, and we all got together, and some weird shit did happen that I've thought about later.
Like what?
Like my friend being next to me on the 3rd floor, and then the next moment, or so it seemed, he's screaming at me from the basement. He didn't fall through the floor, and then he told me, I don't know how I got down here. He was right there next to me.
That is mess. Like in your peripheral, or were you looking at him?
We were upstairs with the flashlights, like, oh my God, we didn't have cameras or anything. This is so creepy. And all of a sudden, I'm like, man. And he was in the basement. Hey!
That's messed up.
That happened. I don't know. I'd love to hear him talk about that. I still talk to him from time to time.
That's spooky as hell.
I'd like to remind him of that.
Cool. That's cool.
And then shortly after that's when we went to the cemetery with the VHS camera and caught the full body apparition that I talked about.
You can see that on our
A
channel
few
too.
times, yeah.
Yes, go
That
watch his
video's up
vlog.
there. That story's up there.
And you can see, you can watch your vlog, or
The
you can
Woman
look at,
Without a Face,
Yep.
it's called.
or you can look at our weird Wisconsin video where
Yep.
it took me to the
I took her
cemetery.
right there in Ryan's weird Wisconsin. So that's definitely, the Blair Witch spurned all of that on.
That's interesting that it was Blair Witch, because I went to the theater with 2 friends and their aunt and uncle, who they thought it was real, and I already knew that it wasn't real. Don't ask me how I knew. It's not like I could look at a computer for any answers, but I knew it wasn't real somehow. And I remember using a free movie pass. Did they still even give those out? Like, can you still get free movie passes to whatever? And I remember thinking, that was the dumbest waste of a free movie ticket I ever could have used.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it then. I didn't like the Blair Witch Project when it came out. Remember, I was 14.
I love how it scared me, how they tricked us all, the whole thing. Little did I know that would become the internet one day.
What? People?
Just everything they did there. It'll be looked
yeah.
back upon as one of the first times that anybody's ever done anything like that. The found footage, getting the hype going like that.
Yeah, the hype was
You
really,
had to
people
question
looking
whether
in
it
the
was
woods.
real or not real. I mean, most everybody, once they were sitting there, should have realized this isn't real. The acting was really good, though.
Right, the way they pulled off the movie. There's
Yeah.
like a whole documentary about it now, I think, of how they did Blair Witch and like the hype. Because the hype was the main, like the marketing of it was like the biggest, coolest thing.
I'll tell you right now, it was the part when I started questioning it was when they, I remember the first few nights they went to sleep, they'd wake up, there'd be a few of those little witch tree figures. But when they woke up and there was like hundreds of them, I was like, okay, this is not real.
That's when Ryan had his moment.
Yep. But up until then, I was like still on the fence. Yep, so much better in the cinema.
I'm glad I did see it in the theater. Like I saw Blair Witch Project in the theater.
I watched it not too long ago, a couple of years ago during the pandemic.
I think I watched it because J&M were talking about it.
Yeah, they love the found footage stuff.
And, yeah, they made me watch Hell House LLC, and that clown is the freakiest
there they
clown
are
I've
right
ever
there.
seen. Yeah, yes, you do love the Blair Witch. They
4
have the little
minutes
house.
ago. We know.
they've looked all through the area. They've looked for those kids. Jen and Marcel have looked for those kids. They've actually gone out looking. No, but I like the fact that I saw that in the theater. I also saw Air Force One in the theater when Harrison Ford was
not nearly as cool. Well, Harrison Ford was cooler, but well, he's pretty cool.
Get off my plane.
Yeah. Get off my damn plane.
I saw that. I took my friends to the theater to see that for my birthday. There must have been nothing else playing.
There
also,
must have been not really anything else. My father loves that movie.
Well, it's probably a pretty good movie. I should watch that again.
Too.
Oh, that's right. They have the Blair Witch bathroom.
Yep.
I like that. Very good.
Indeed.
Oh, we still only have our one little model house.
I'd love to go see where those filming locations are sometime. I know a couple people who could show us.
Yeah, there they are.
Because that movie really did have an impact on me.
The house is gone though, right?
Made me want to do this stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff in my past with my growing up experiences I had, but that movie was like the catalyst to like grab a camera, let's go do it.
The funny thing is, after the Blair Witch Project came out, the 2 people I went and saw it with, I stayed at their house a lot when my parents went away, and my parents had won in a raffle a Panasonic video camera that used to take the little cassette tapes, and I took that to their house when I was staying with them for like a week, and we must have gone to the theater, seen it, came home, and we got out the video camera, and we made a video in their backyard in the woods called the Were Bitch Project. It's the funniest thing. I wish I still had those tapes. You used to put like the little tapes into the big tape to play it in the VCR. The Were Bitch Project.
That's awesome.
It was just like us like walking through the woods like, oh my God, and nothing. But dude, I'd give anything to see that again.
This is my wife.
What was the first movie you saw in the theaters? Ghostbusters, Lucky.
Oh.
Do you know what mine was? And I have a full memory of this. The first, it's so stupid. The first movie I saw in the theater was The Land Before Time, the animated movie about dinosaurs and a meteor and Sharptooth. And I cried. And one of my first memories is me crying in a movie theater and trying to hide from my uncle and cousins so they didn't see me crying because I was embarrassed. Like if someone asked you, when's the first time you were embarrassed? First time I went to a movie theater.
You know what mine was?
Please say it's cooler than mine.
Oh, it's way, way cooler than yours, of course. It was the Return of the Jedi.
Oh, Guy, both of you win.
Indeed.
There's me watching dinosaurs.
Do I remember anything about it except wanting the popcorn and the tub of popcorn in my lap while my parents both ate it? And
you were the
popcorn
holder.
Yeah, that was my first movie. I also saw Pinocchio when
I saw Pinocchio
when they re-released them for the first time in the 80s.
Oh wait.
So it had to be about 1985 or 6.
I saw Pinocchio.
That's the first one that I for sure remember.
What do you mean re-release? That's when it was new.
No, it wasn't. Pinocchio came out in like the 70s. The cartoon Disney movie?
Yeah.
It came out in like the 70s, maybe even late 60s.
With Jiminy Cricket, with the big head and he's green.
That wasn't the 80s.
Really? That's a re-release?
Sure. Maybe. You'd have to Google that
Somebody
one. It's not important right now.
It's not.
But
so you got to see Star Wars. I got to see dinosaurs. Justin got to see actual Ghostbusters.
That's awesome.
You know what's really weird is when I was a little kid, I don't know what it is with stupid American sleepovers, but the whole class gets invited to a sleepover, whether you like the kid or not. And this time it was a friend, and her name rhymes with Maura. And she invited me over for a sleepover, and her parents allowed the entire group to watch the Ghostbusters movies. And the doggos scared me so bad. And once again, what is it with American finished basements? All the kids sleep in the basement. I had to sleep in the basement, and I was terrified.
Because of Gozer, the Gozerian?
Gozer.
Yeah.
The dogs. The doggo, when they're running through the outdoor restaurants in New York City.
Originally in 1940.
No, shut up, Joe. There's no way.
You can always count
on 1940. That's pre-World War II.
Joe, yes.
That's how it made it to the theaters in the 80s.
I knew it wasn't the 80s. I knew they re-released them in the theater, and I think it was the first time it was like a big old deal. All the Disney movies, all the classic ones.
Okay.
And Pinocchio is the first one I remember.
Because I liked that a lot, because I think I had a crush on Pinocchio as like a 6-year-old kid.
And you ended up with me?
I quit. I'm out of here.
I'm not your Geppetto over here.
No, you're Pinocchio.
Oh, yeah. I'm more like Geppetto is what I meant to say.
I'm more like Jiminy Cricket. Anyway.
Yeah, this is a fact.
No, that's why I saw it in the theater. But as a little kid, I wouldn't have known when the hell Pinocchio came out. I know that Snow White's old as dick.
Yeah.
And I was watching Scary Tales rented from the library every week. My mom had to go back to the Bethlehem Library to get Scary Tales. Oh, God.
Snow White or Song of the South?
Song of the
What's
South.
Song of the South?
Google that on your own time.
All right, I will.
It's not something that you're going to find streaming now. I don't believe we could do that. Controversy. But it was right then that those came. Oh, God. Did I see Snow White in the theater? Maybe. No, well, not originally. That was what, 1920s or something? No, but Scary Tales.
Sure.
Scary Tales came out in the 20s and 30s, and those were old Disney cartoons. And my mom would rent the VHS tape of Scary Tales, and I used to have a recurring dream of the dancing skeletons and the ghost and like the clock that would dance. I used to have a recurring Scary Tales. No wonder I'm this way. No wonder I'm this way. It's obvious. It's Disney's Scary Tales.
Indeed.
Sorry, I can't help myself. But Rob Zombie used those dancing skeletons in his stage show like 2017, 16 when I saw him live. I was like, hi. Yeah, he knows me. He doesn't know me, and I don't know him, but I've liked him for a long time. I think these people are okay.
Yeah, that's my Return of the Jedi memory, Emily, is the feeling of it, not the movie. I mean, I've seen the movie many times and love it, but
yeah, the memories are feelings.
That was the first one my parents took me to. 1983. So I was 4.
And they put on a film for us. They played a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I kid you not, and you were 4. That's a. Those are some visuals. That's not good. That's not good for.
Oh my goodness, kids just love doing that stuff. Like I said, my 16-year-old uncle tortured my 7-8-year-old self with Fright Night, The Lost Boys, Poltergeist.
That's really.
He made me watch them, and I did.
There are some scary movies. We've always made
vampires were that vampires scare me.
That got you?
They're
See, I
related
was
to
always
bats.
ghosts.
So hey, there's some psychological stuff here.
Mine was always
We won't
ghosts.
diagnose on the live
Star
stream.
Wars, original Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Some of you were old enough to get the really good stuff.
Which one of you
Hello,
is it,
Polly,
Jen
nice
or
to see you.
Marcel?
I'm really
That's
warm in
got to
this
be
thing.
Marcel because there's
It's
no way Jen
polyester.
was old enough to see Star Wars in the theater in '77.
I was not born yet. I'm from '83, if we're wondering. I'm an elder millennial, and I have hit.
It is Jen.
That means I'm a crow now, and I just have more power. I can shoot lasers for my eyes. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh, it's Paulo Polly.
How is everybody these days anyway? We are so close to Halloween.
Thank you for tuning in. That's like 1 a.m. over there in the UK.
Right?
So thank you to our UK friends
Thank
for
God it's
stopping by.
Thank God it's a Saturday for everybody, right?
Right.
That's why we didn't do this on Halloween, because
Yep.
everybody's got so
I
many.
wanted to bump up the old time
75.
so y'all could maybe join, but
Right?
who's 75?
Blah.
Oh,
The
of
75
vintage. I'm of the 79.
Right, I'm 83
vintage.
as well. We are from the 1900s, everybody.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? Unless, God, so people, oh God, everybody born in 2000 can already drink already. I quit.
Right.
I quit.
That was the year I could drink.
No, I was, what,
That was
2000?
my first year.
4? I don't know. I'm 40 now. So I've lived 1,000 lifetimes. I am done.
I was the oldest one of my friends and charged with buying the alcohol for all of them.
I definitely was not. August birthday, I was the younger one.
Not for free, though.
Oh, did you get money?
Well, of course. You got
Jeez.
all the power if you're the oldest of the friends.
I was not. I did not have my license in time for anything fun.
Urbexy's also here.
Hey,
how's it
Urbexy, how's
going?
everybody?
Everybody's popping in.
We're just talking about very old
We'll
movies.
probably hang out for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We had planned on an hour, but hey, it's
we're having
rolling
fun.
along here.
Yeah, it's nice.
Rolling along.
As far as, let's see, we talked about all the lovely Halloween movies that we're watching and the things that we loved the most and things that scared the poop out of us. Where we investigated recently, we do have some plans next year to hit the mid-freaking West, the middle of the country. They know their farm fields.
Yep.
If you fly over Illinois and you look down out of the plane, it's just circles of fields.
There's a good chance that we'll be back to the Villisca axe murder house for the first time in about 4 years, which I can't wait. And my sister might be joining us on that one, which is cool. She's got some good stories from our youth as well, so
Right.
we'll make sure to document some of that.
Corroborate some of these creepy things the Bradways have been through.
Also, there's well, we don't have a lot concrete yet, but we're definitely going to be hitting it hard on the back half of 24. So
For sure.
we have a few other ideas.
Mhm.
Maybe it's shout out time right now. We should shout out Justin's
The
podcast here,
shout-outs.
which is beginning Monday.
Yep.
Not
Paranormal-
totally sure on the time. on our
Paranormal
end.
Monkey. Well, here's the cool thing about the internet. In the descriptions, people will tell you when they're going to do their content.
Right.
So
But I mean UK time versus
yes.
Justin here is one half of what was Paranormal Truth, which is a hugely influential channel on us,
Yeah.
and showed us that there are ghost hunters out here that actually, are critical thinkers. you
Just
know?
want an experience and then try to explain it as it happened and not give you something that's a load of
Right.
horse poop. He's here for the tricorn hat. Me too.
Oh yes,
He's never taken it off. Yeah. You're going to go to work like that on Monday.
indeed.
Yeah. Tell people there's a steel plate in it.
But yeah, that'll be the Paranormal Monkey podcast.
Yeah.
It's a brand new channel, so show them some love over there if you can. Likes and subscribes and all that. It's tough. It's tough on YouTube, as all of us that do it know. So
Algorithms
the more
are just-
we can support each other, the better to get the good content out there.
Yes. And we also need you to follow Jen and Marcel,
J&M Explorations always.
because exploring these people will go anywhere.
They
And
got it on
we've
lock.
followed them in places that I don't think I normally would have
Right.
gone.
I know.
Oh, they're going in. All right, let's just
That's
go.
how it was from the second we met them.
Yes. Oh, they're in there.
Want to see this tunnel?
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess we trust them now.
Underground one? Yep. I guess we're
All
going.
right, turn the light on. Let's go.
After Amy determined Marcel wasn't a police officer, we went for a walk.
I hid behind a locker in
the
an
rest is
asylum.
history.
Yes. Make
But
sure you are
3
following.
p.m. Eastern time. 3 p.m. Eastern time for the Paranormal Monkey podcast. And you knows, you might see us on there.
8 if you're in the UK.
I know Justin has some questions for us. It's been a long time coming,
Right.
so we can't wait for that opportunity if and when it comes.
My head is so hot right now.
Our friend Mark isn't here right now. He's probably in bed. He had a long day today.
Yeah, and he
his
makes
own
hot sauce.
live stream. Yeah,
So if he's been eating any hot sauce, he needs to rest.
fantastic hot sauce. If we were at the house, I'd show you because he's shipped them across the pond to me. I've had 4 of them now, and they're all fantastic.
I have had one, and it's the only one I can handle. Yeah. And I will have to go to the hospital if I have any other sauce.
I have really fiery fatale, which is a little bit hotter of a Tabasco kind of.
If I snip
sauce.
it, my eyes water.
There's Naga Nightmare, which is a 5-star on his scale, which is extremely hot. I'll be honest about that one.
Put 911 on your phone before you eat it.
I have my favorite one is the Flaming Scotchman. Oh my goodness! If that was for sale over here in America, he would be raking
doing
in
good, right?
The cash. It's such a good sauce. And then the Ouija Brothers Blazing Ghosts Ghost Pepper Sauce I just recently acquired from Mark.
Did you put that on your breakfast bowl?
Nope, haven't cracked it open yet.
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little afraid.
Are you nervous?
Yep.
I'm nervous for you.
Might be a collector's item.
I have to sleep next to you. We have to cook with it or do things with it that we can spread it out, because it's not the kind of sauce you can just be like, oh, I'll put it in a spoon and watch. No, you'll die. You'll die.
Yeah, right.
Some kid died from eating like a hot potato chip recently. So I don't know.
Yeah, the Taki ones.
Don't mess around. I'm not eating those things.
But yeah, Mark's Dead Cold Paranormal. He's also the chili northerner. That's his chili pepper channel, which is he grows them himself. It's awesome.
And we've also got Stanton's Journeys, which is Chris Stanton. So please put your subscriptions there, because Chris seems to go and find every cool vintage train and car recently that I've seen. I don't know what you're doing. You can hone in on him. But, oh my goodness, I think old train cars are so cool looking. Oh, yeah. The ones we found from like the 1940s, I was like, look at this.
We love them too.
The context of all of the things. Oh, it's so neat. So make sure you've got yourself on all of these channels. Urbexy, you've also got Amanda Limper or Amanda Woomer, The Feminine Macabre, the Museum of Memento Mori. Put yourself behind all these people. Coffee, Books, and Ghosts is Mallory Sawinski. She's an author and a publisher. Oh my God, we should have shown people Dark Village. I don't even have a copy on me. We're in a hotel.
Yeah, we're in a hotel, but yes.
But anyway, Mallory and her friend Carly are the ones that put together Dark Village, which recently came out. And it's horror.
Got a question for you guys. Has anybody seen The Unbinding? Have any of you watched that movie yet?
I see Crohn's and chilies.
Wait for that.
Paulie, yeah.
Yep.
I understand how you feel, man. You can't.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Hot sauce it's not for.
Are in the same boat of mine.
It's not for everybody.
I feel for them because they'd love to dig right in. It smells so good.
I want to know what spicy tastes like, but an ulcer will form and then it will take over my whole body. It'll come out my ears. I get heartburn. Maybe I should just sleep standing up or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'll be fine.
Highly recommend The Unbinding there, Jen and Marcel. You guys should check that out. That's Greg and Dana Newkirk's new feature film.
Of the Newkirk Museum of the Paranormal and the Occult.
Yep.
That's their new name, Newkirk Museum. There's so many people out there to love and like. Who else do we love? We love Katie Webb, Gorganized.
Oh, yeah.
Katie Webb is a great witch and a great resource, great tarot resource, really down to earth, modern interpretation of all things mystical. And she's just fun. The kindest freaking person. 2 of our favorite people, you know who I'm going to say, Tenny and Jess.
We have a lot of favorite people.
I know, but make sure
I can't read your mind.
Bullshit. Yes, you can. Wait. Let's try it. Let's try a trick. Are you ready? I'm thinking a number between 1 and 10. Go.
7.
2. Oh my God. Oh my God. That didn't
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Wait, now you try it. I'll guess.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
6.
You got it.
I am the psychic
You're better
one.
at this. You did get it.
I'm number psychic. I'm clairnumerant.
What's the reason for the costumes? Are you just into kinky stuff? Yeah, you have no idea what's going to happen when this camera shuts off, bud.
I'm leaving.
Just tell.
I'm
No,
leaving.
I'm just
No.
kidding.
This is the necklace. Here, with glasses, I look like nobody. I look like me in a wig. The necklace and the costume, this is actually a real, like, it's sold as a costume, is the Katrina Van Tassel outfit from the Sleepy Hollow movie with Christina Ricci. Yeah, get your whole thing on. And Johnny Depp. I don't know if I like Johnny Depp anymore. I really don't know. I don't know.
I like Johnny Depp. I don't know if I liked all the stuff that came out in the trial.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I'll always enjoy his movies.
I'll watch Sleepy Hollow. What's the other ones where he's really young? From Hell. That's what I watched. I watched I'm like watching weird 90s movies, like 90s horror.
Justin.
There you go.
Here's the whole deal. Got the old ready to go out on the town.
Oh, you're ready to chase the headless horseman.
I am. Oh, I got to get my fluffs out. Yes, we're gonna chase the headless
I've got to
horseman
get my
when we're
fluffs
done.
out. Let me get my fluffs out too.
We should have went to Sleepy Hollow for
I
this.
know.
It's right down the road.
We could have live stream from a cemetery.
There's a
Obviously,
video
we
on our
couldn't have,
channel. We visited and explored there a little bit.
Yeah.
Got some weird stuff with the one statue in the cemetery of
The bronze lady.
Yep, the bronze lady
That you're not supposed to touch.
with an obelisk. So
I know.
I
Think
don't know
what you
about
want.
that thing. But it said some weird stuff. It's a weird time, so it was fun. But yeah.
90s horror is good. See, Pauly, he's watched Hellier, but not.
I'm curious to hear what some of you think about the Unbinding. I think
It's different.
Fantastic.
It's a different vibe. It's a very different vibe from Hellier, I think. Same look.
Some crazy
yeah.
stuff that could be, called evidence.
And crazy things that happen to Greg and Dana too that are just like, Jesus, just activity wise, it's like, what the frick?
They're some of the celebs that we've met and actually spent time with, and find them credible. They're nice.
They're
not
kind.
there to BS anybody, and they're kind to people and supportive, and they're kind of leading the way on some of the new ideas in the field. That's why one reason we love them so much. That movie's fantastic. Thanks, Justin.
They are a very interesting couple, totally.
Indeed.
I can't wait to get this. Like, if you look close, there's purple. I got my hair done finally by a friend I've known for 35 years, which is, it's a long time. And I finally sucked it up and was like, I would like somebody who is a professional to touch my hair, because it's been.
She's in the chat.
Yes,
Your
it's Emily.
hairstylist.
It's Emily.
What a job you did.
And yet I'm in the blonde
you made her
wig.
so blonde.
I'm in a blonde wig.
Oh wait, there's some blue under there.
There's purple. It's purple. This is literally. I got a
I'm
Viking
colorblind.
color. I know. Well, I don't know what he thinks my hair color is, but you can just see a little. It's like if Katrina Von Tassel was actually secretly into like emo.
Right.
Oh man.
She would be too.
Oh,
totally.
thank you, Paulie.
No doubt.
I hope so. No, and what's cool about the Sleepy Hollow cemetery is you can see the headstone for a Katrina Van Tassel. And I don't think it's the real one, but you see different names from Washington Irving's story. I mean, he lived there. His house is, you can visit his house. It's beautiful. It's called Sunnyside. And so, I mean, his work is inspired by everything that is around him in what was Tarrytown. And they officially changed their name to Sleepy Hollow, like a few years ago?
It wasn't long ago. I think it might have been in the 90s.
Yeah, and so they were like, "Oh, let's be Sleepy
But
Hollow."
that's where it all took
Tarrytown.
place.
Tarrytown, New York. It's like an hour south, like 2 hours south, an hour and a
It's
half.
really cool. Like, it's not Salem level of like preservation of the history there, but it's it's got.
Yeah, it's not like Salem, no.
But it is cool. I
it's
highly recommend it if you're into that.
J&M have to go. We love you.
We should probably let you all go.
We should probably head out as well. It's been over an hour.
It's a Saturday
and,
night, and some of our friends probably want to hit the hay.
Or
so.
have a drink and go do something else.
Right.
Whatever you want to do. I want to take this wig off. But I really like this. I'm so glad we got to be the Sleepy Hollow. We're Sleepy Hollow. And we have a pumpkin costume for our small dog. And she's going to be the pumpkin that we but we're not going to throw the dog. We're just going to like pretend, you know, I'm going to Photoshop some shit
Snowballing
together.
quick here.
Yeah.
Thank you all for all the support and joining us tonight.
Yes. Thank
We're
you guys.
gonna
Thank you everybody.
Do a little
both
investigating
platforms.
of this room and with our digital recorder, and we'll probably have a little video up from it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Stay weird. We will check in again. Be sure to stay up on the YouTube and on the notifications. I think we're going to have our Greene County Poor Farm investigation video, a feature video. I drank too much in Salem.
It's cool.
I want to ask about that.
It's a good one.
But yeah, we'll have that up by Halloween, I believe. So
yep.
That is our Halloween drop. And maybe we'll even make it a premiere, just like old times, so we can, hey, and you can chat with us while we're there.
Sure.
So happy Halloween from Katrina Van Tassel and
Ichabod Crane.
Yeah. Should we end it? Are we done?
We're done.
Okay. Stay weird, everybody. We love you.
Good night.
Bye.